Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're taking a really close look at a shiny, incredibly ambitious new challenger in the automotive world. I'm talking about the Lynk Co 900 PHEV. Now, if you follow the luxury SUV market at all, you know it is a fiercely competitive space. We're talking about an arena absolutely dominated by heavyweights like the BMW X7, the Mercedes-Benz GLS, and the Range Rover. But suddenly, there's this new player rolling up, demanding our attention with a pretty bold promise: futuristic luxury at a highly competitive price. It's gorgeous, it's packed with tech, but the real question is it actually a smart buy? Well, let's find out. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover a futuristic luxury challenger, then the digital cabin experience, followed by performance and hybrid power, the true cost of ownership, and finally, the final verdict. Kicking things off with Section 1, a futuristic luxury challenger. So, developed under the massive Geely ecosystem, this SUV definitely has some serious engineering muscle behind it. But honestly, what immediately catches your eye is the clean, Scandinavian-inspired styling. It's got this incredibly minimalist front fascia, flanked by striking, full-width lighting elements and vertical LED daytime running lights. And that smooth, aerodynamic body flows seamlessly right down to these really large premium wheels. Overall, it visually projects this futuristic status that easily rivals SUVs costing tens of thousands of dollars more. But, design is always super subjective, right? On the plus side, that futuristic road presence gives you an incredibly unique alternative to your traditional German SUVs. However, there is a catch here. That highly minimalist, ultra-modern styling, it might actually age pretty quickly. Plus, conservative buyers might really miss the emotional aggression of a classic, prominent luxury grille. And we have to acknowledge that on a global scale, the brand's identity is still kind of weak. Moving right along to Section 2, the digital cabin experience. Stepping inside the 900 PHEV is literally like walking into a sci-fi lounge. The source material makes it clear that this cabin is absolutely loaded. We are talking massive infotainment displays completely dominating the dashboard, a fully digital cockpit, and AI-driven connectivity features everywhere you look. But it's not just about slapping screens everywhere, it's about comfort too. The layout is incredibly spacious, very family-friendly, and it's all paired with premium materials and lounge-style seating. It creates this ultra-modern vibe that feels a lot less like a traditional car and way more like a high-end mobile tech hub. Okay, yes, it's a total high-tech dream, but we really need to ground ourselves in practical reality for a second. Sure, you're getting amazing comfort and an absolute ton of features for the price tag, but there's a heavy, heavy dependency on screens in here. Touch-sensitive controls can be notoriously frustrating. We all know how annoying it is trying to adjust the climate without taking our eyes off the road. And perhaps the biggest red flag? The long-term software reliability of these massive AI-driven systems is basically one giant unknown variable. All right, Section 3, performance and hybrid power. Just to make sure we're all on the same page, let's quickly clarify what's actually powering this thing. A PHEV, or plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, essentially bridges the gap between old-school gas cars and full-on EVs. It pairs an electric motor, perfect for pure, silent driving around town, with a traditional combustion engine that kicks in when you need to take an extended road trip. It's how the 900 PHEV aims to give you the absolute best of both worlds: zero-emission city driving and zero-range anxiety on the highway. So what does this actually translate to when you're behind the wheel? Instant gratification. Thanks to that electric motor, you get excellent low-end torque. You press the pedal, and the car just moves, instantly and silently. It offers this incredibly smooth electric driving experience that is generally so much quieter than traditional luxury SUVs. Plus, for a vehicle of this massive size, it delivers far better fuel efficiency than a standard V8-powered gas behemoth. It's a really fantastic balance of smooth power and eco-friendly comfort. But, as always, physics and mechanics demand a compromise. That smooth power and urban efficiency are super compelling for sure. But all those battery packs add some serious weight, and that is absolutely going to affect how this heavy SUV handles around corners. To driving purists, the excitement might feel just a little bit artificial. And let's be real, real-world EV range on heavy PHEVs can sometimes fall disappointingly short of the advertised numbers. Oh, and repairing a complex system that combines two completely different powertrains, yeah, that could get very expensive down the line. Which brings us to a massive, pivotal question. You love the design, you're totally wowed by the screens, you enjoy the quiet, torquey drive, but what happens after you actually drive it off the lot? Because this is exactly where the shiny brochure ends and real life begins. That brings us to section 4, the true cost of ownership. Look, buying a car isn't just a day one transaction, it's a multi-year relationship. And entering into that relationship with a young, developing global brand is, frankly, a gamble. Upfront, you're likely paying significantly less than you would for a German rival. You're getting way more tech features for your money, and it's all on a modern platform backed by attractive warranties. But the anxiety really lives in the long term. Because the brand is still establishing itself globally, the resale value is highly unpredictable. Service networks are severely limited right now, meaning just finding parts could become a massive headache. And years down the road, those hybrid battery replacement costs could be astronomical. You're essentially trading guaranteed peace of mind for upfront value and cutting-edge innovation. And that leads perfectly into Section 5, the final verdict. It honestly boils down to two very distinct types of buyers. If you're an adventurous tech lover who craves futuristic luxury, modern minimalist design, and hybrid efficiency, and you want it all while keeping your budget comfortably below German luxury prices, this car is absolutely calling your name. It's your chance to stand out. But if you're a cautious traditionalist who prioritizes the absolute certainty of long-term reliability, proven dealership networks, and strong resale value, basically, if you plan to keep this car for a decade without any headaches, you should probably stick to the established rivals. To sum it all up perfectly with a quote straight from our source material, the Lynk Co 900 PHV is exciting, stylish, and modern, but also a calculated risk compared to established luxury SUVs. It undeniably appeals to early adopters, but we all know that early adoption always carries its own inherent level of risk. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Are you willing to trade proven dealership support and absolute peace of mind for a taste of the automotive future? It's a really fascinating question about your own personal risk tolerance. And honestly, there is no single right answer here. It just depends entirely on what kind of driver you are. Thanks so much for joining me on today's Explainer, and I hope this gave you a clearer picture of the fascinating dynamic behind the Lynk Co 900 PHEV. Until next time, keep learning and stay curious.